Guys, remembering Val Kilmer, one of the most versatile actors that I can name, one of my favorites for years, and so many great movies. It's hard to pick one. I love The Doors. He played Jim Morrison. He was in Tombstone as Doc Holliday with Kurt Russell. What a great western! And I just recently rewatched Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. One of the great crime dramas. Is wonderful, that film. And so we remember and we celebrate Val Kilmer. And I think in terms of acting, when you look at any actor, obviously the film, the project, the TV show, whatever project they're in is one of the reasons you love it. But I think Val Kilmer was one of those actors that even if the story, the script, the project wasn't the greatest, you'd take a chance. I'd say, well, Val Kilmer's in it, so it's got to be halfway good, or he would be, maybe kind of elevate that material. And so I always took a chance on his stuff. I took a chance on The Island of Dr. Moreau with Marlon Brando, which is a pretty bad version, I got to say. I love the story generally. I love the Michael York version, but still, Val Kilmer picked a lot of great movies. I guess you could argue his first huge film was Top Gun, and I think that's what really made him a household name, along with, of course, Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis, and that was a blockbuster. And then I remember I'm a big fan of fantasy films, and he was in Willow as the quirky Mad Mardigan with all the wonderful fantasy elements. So Willow was a great landmark for his career. And then, of course, The Doors, at playing Jim Morrison. And at the time, I guess right before that, I was really getting into The Doors. I was really getting into Jim Morrison's music and all these hits, and I was like, wow, what a great performance. And it's really hard to name someone who's so close to this subject that they're portraying. I heard in research for like a year, he dressed like Jim Morrison. He went to all his hangouts, spent time with his friends and family. So he really did his research. And then, of course, Batman, right? Batman Forever. It might not have been the best Batman. I think the worst, of course, is Batman and Robin. George Clooney, sorry. But Batman Forever was kind of fun. But the film that I want to remember for the video, for the tribute, is a great little film, a science fiction comedy called Real Genius. This was released in 1985, and it's just a beautiful film. It's funny, it's exciting, and it really has that core of science fiction. It's not just a funny romp or a mockery. It really plays great with science fiction. In fact, the director spent months before writing it. She co-wrote and directed the film, Martha Coolidge. She spent months researching laser technology and the policies of the CIA. She interviewed and hung out with dozens of students at Caltech, so she really knew her material. And it was just, it's a great film from 1985, and it just celebrates genius and knowledge and students and university and technology. And I couldn't recommend it more. If you want to watch one film that celebrates Val Kilmer, even though, of course, Top Gun, The Doors, all the big mainstream movies, this is a little movie from 1985, Real Genius, and you should love it. And at the end, there's a very sort of famous scene at the very end. One of the I don't want to really give it away, but one of the kind of assholes in the movie gets the comeuppance, and his house is filled with popcorn. And when you look at the research for it, they said they had to do all this, prep. So they took hundreds of popcorn popping for months, and then they treated with fire retardant so it wouldn't combust when they had to do that final scene. Great scene, great movie. Val Kilmer, rest in peace. What a great talent. What a great contribution to pop culture, to Hollywood, and to cinema. Hope you're enjoying. Hope you're subscribing. See you soon.